Oh, I forgot about that. Well, I didn't know that it might have not done that the same thing to me in this. Okay, it's okay, done directing. Okay, good. Here we go. Got to, I've got to go back here and turn my thing off, my audio off, mute. And we are live, and we are live. Oh, I forgot. Wait. Yeah, yeah, share video file, share. Oh, what a mess.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
And we are live.
All right. Good day to our participants and to all of the people in America on YouTube, all of our listeners. I am here to welcome you to Open Mic America. I'm Mike Simpson. I'm your NC for the evening. Kevin Kelso is our interviewer. And Capo Dave Williams is our engineer, founder of this wonderful show, and also the creator and builder of Dandy Hybrid Guitars, which you will hear about later, and you'll see at least one played on the show tonight. Our mission is to support your local open mics, where you can go in person to see songwriters performing their original music. Tonight, thanks to technology, we get to travel all around the country and see those same performers in their own living rooms. Without gimmicks, without frills, this is the DNA of American music. A tapestry of song and story that has been weaving us together for generations. Now let's introduce all of our performers. I'm going to give you their names and where they are from, and then performers, if you would wave. Tom Maynard from Thompson, Connecticut. Bill Hernandez from Portland, Oregon. Sav Forrest from Grove, Oregon. Chris Steele from Newton Upper Falls, Massachusetts. Eric H.F. Law from Rancho Mirage, California. Marilyn Walker from Boulder, Colorado. Joseph Isaacs from Columbia, Maryland. And I'll also be playing tonight, and I'm Mike Simpson from Saratoga, California. Our first guest is Tom Maynard, Thompson, Connecticut. And Tom, when they pop you up, can you give us some of your favorite open mics that you play at?
Well, sure. So, by the way, thank you for hosting. I'm really pleased to be here. This venue here has been going on for quite a while, and it's really a gift to us musicians as well as those folks who get a chance to watch online, I'm sure. So the open mic scene that I'm involved in is basically around the greater Boston area in Massachusetts. I tend to go to the Parish Center for the Arts open mic in Westford, Mass., and the Ellen Schmidt open mic in Boxborough, Mass. But I also am involved with a number of virtual open mics, including the Catbird Cafe and the Music Matters Showcase, which we have a performer tonight who's the host of that. So, and I'm sure he'll say more about that when it's his turn. But that's kind of where I'm playing out lately. So, I guess now I'm going to launch into some songs for y'all. So I have a brand new song that I'm going to perform for you. This is about a week old. And it's called Rosy Days of Childhood. The rosy days of childhood, when life was safe and sure, and all these doubts and questionings were clouds and nothing more. The bounded edges of my life were narrowly prescribed by home and yard and family, by land and sea and sky. Rosy days of childhood, we were taught right from the start that we should greet everyone with open arms and heart, and everyone should have the same opportunities of life and love and liberty. A future bright and free. Now living in a larger world, our vision open wide, we might see through compassion's eyes the pain that cannot hide, the curtain of perception torn, the illusion laid bare, the innocence of childhood tossed cruelly through the air. What hides behind the curtain thin, outside the rosy glow, anger, fear, and violence through tears begin to show, and lies repeated all the time just validate the fears. The morass and mire of ignorance is all that we can hear. And yet the plain and simple truth of our childhood days still sings within my heart today. still shapes the things I say. Though innocence may long be past, though years have passed as well, I hold this vision close to me. It's a dream that I must tell. The rosy days of childhood have lessons yet to teach, of open hearts and arms embrace. Our love extends our reach. These weren't simply childish dreams. Our love extends our reach.
Yeah, Tom.
You.
Just
Rosy
beautiful.
days of childhood. Thanks much. I just put out a new album in the past couple of weeks, and so the song is off of that. The album is called Everyday Yearnings, and that's available in any of your streaming sites, but also on Bandcamp. This is called Song of the Roses. I think I'm in a rosy theme. Song of the Roses. This was the front door where roses still grow. They were planted with care a long time ago. And the old foundation is filled now by trees and a breeze where the roof used to be. Hands built these old walls, they stacked stone on stone. They broke their backs to make New England their home. They've walked the land from winter to spring. As they planted their roses, they'd sing. Grow strong and take root, grow sturdy and wild. This life is not for the meek or the mild. May you still grow here after we're gone, and may you still be singing your song. If I lived here, my kitchen window would be in the back, where I could see that old apple tree. And the old foundation is, oh, and look, there are lilies by the old cellar stair, and lilacs to sweeten the air. I feel them all around me out here in the woods. Our life was so hard, but I think it was good. When flowers bloomed, souls would fly like birds on the wing, and rocking their babies they'd sing. Grow strong and take root, grow sturdy and wild. This life is not for the meek or the mild. May you still grow here after we're gone, and may you still be singing your song. Why did they leave? Where did they go? Does anyone know? Does anyone know? Flowers that bloom by a door long since gone, sing a memory still singing your song. Grow strong and take root, grow sturdy and wild. This life is not for the meek or the mild. May you still grow here after we're gone, and may you still be singing your song. And may you still be singing your song.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Tom Maynard. I'm going to turn you now over into the gentle care of our interviewer, Kevin.
Hey, Tom, beautiful
Hey,
song.
Ken. Thank you. Thanks so much.
So, rosy days of childhood, everyday yearnings, and Song of the Roses, all three of those sort of speak to some nostalgic feeling. Is that a place that you are writing about a lot now? I know the Rosy Days of Childhood is a new song.
Yeah, that's like I say, that was brand new. That's just a few days old, actually. I mean, I think Rosy Days is basically a song about today. It's really not about the nostalgia aspects. It's about the values that we learned when we were children, but also sort of our vision of what life should be, and as much as our sense of the past may be, skewed as far as reality is concerned. When we're growing up, we're sort of protected from some of the harsher realities, but also the picture that we were shown of our country and history and all that wasn't accurate. So
Yeah,
now
it's
that
complicated. You on the one hand, you were sort of saying that it's that, like you say, we were shielded. There was an innocence that's been lost, but at the same time, you're also saying we shouldn't set it aside. That still has, I think you said, a lesson to teach.
Right, exactly.
So,
And the things that we're taught about compassion and reaching out to people in need, those things still have all kind. They are the principles by which I live, and they are, to sort of throw them out with the realization that maybe our vision of the world back then was painted a little bit too rosily, then that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to say that, okay, well, because that wasn't true, then I'm just going to be angry all the time, and
so we're not supposed to be angry all the time.
I wish I felt that way for real, but the song helps me kind of move past that a little bit.
Yeah. So I love how you use the plants in the second song you played as they're sort of metaphors for endurance. These are things that linger behind us after the structures that we've built perhaps have decayed a bit. That's a fascinating thing. What inspired you to write about that?
So those lyrics are actually from a poem my wife wrote a number of years ago, and I didn't even know that she had written it. We were in the process of getting ourselves moved here to Connecticut, and going through my old lyric sheets, and the handwritten ones, and making them digital, and I found this poem and said, this sounds like my wife Debbie, but so I brought it to her, and she said, well, I remember the circumstance by which that might have been written, but I don't remember writing it. I was like, well, if you don't mind, I'm going to turn it into a song. So it's our first collaboration, but it's I agree that's the primary message, I think, is that the things that we love, that if we're planting those seeds with a sense of love and caretaking, then that they can outlive us, and they can provide a beauty of their own for generations to come. And it's our children too. I mean, it's not just our plants and flowers and stuff, but as you say, it's a metaphor. So
Yeah, I mean, there are actually a lot of examples of that phenomenon of like being able to identify past archaeologists can, from aerial views, can see things in the vegetation that tell you what was there. It's sort of surprising in a way because we think of plants as sort of coming over and just covering everything over, but it's not that simple.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Not that simple. Beautiful, beautiful work. Congratulations on the new album.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Tom Maynard. Kevin, nice job interviewing. Bill Hernandez,
Hey,
you seem to be next, and my idea is that you should go.
all right. How's everyone doing? Thanks for having me. Happy Father's Day to everyone out there. I want to say hi to my friends. Sav, good to see you. I'm going to do a couple songs here. This first one is called You Don't Know. Sounds like someone still has their mic on. Oh, thank you. You don't know what I'm going through. All the sleepless nights, daydreaming of you. You don't know. You don't have a clue. I'm running from myself just to get away from you. I'll write your name across the sky. I'll build you towers miles high. I'll sing a million lullabies. I'll be on every sunrise. You don't know. You're too blind to see. Your reality is just my fantasy. You don't know, and you never will. You take my breath away. You're making my heart still. I'll write your name across the sky. I'll build you towers miles high. And I'll sing a million lullabies. I'll be your every sunrise. I've never felt like this before. I want to open every door and let you walk right in and see every broken side of me. You don't know. You have no idea how much I'm in love with you's the only thing I fear. How much I'm in love with you's the only thing I fear.
Beautiful.
Song is I wanted to challenge myself and write a song that wasn't about a relationship or online dating or divorce. And I have a good buddy, my producer buddy Jason's got this cat who I'm really a dog guy, but this cat thinks it's a dog, and I've actually challenged myself to write a song about a cat. So this is a song for Birdie. Me and Birdie, we got a thing going on. She jumps up on my lap when I sing her song. Me and Birdie, we both know that it's wrong. I've always been a dog man, but that ain't gonna last too long. 'Cause I'm writing my first cat song. There's nothing wrong with me. Every second, minute, hour, I fall harder than a tree. Me and Birdie, she brings me a treat. Something that she found outside's now laying at my feet. My friend Jason said he's never seen that. Birdie used to be his, now she's a two-man cat. 'Cause I'm writing my first cat song. There's nothing wrong with me. Every second, minute, hour, I fall harder than a tree. I'm writing my first cat song. There's nothing wrong with me. Every second, minute, hour, I fall harder than a tree. Wherever she may go, she'll always steal the show. She's wired that way. She'll steal your heart tomorrow. She'll break your heart today. Me and Birdie, we're a team in disguise. She purrs like a motor, and I just can't deny. When the sun sets, she curls up to me tight. I guess the dog man's heart can change overnight. I'm writing my first cat song. There's nothing wrong with me. Every second, minute, hour, I fall harder than a tree. I'm writing my first cat song. There's nothing wrong with me. Every second, minute, hour, I fall harder than a tree. I'm writing my first cat song. There's nothing wrong with me. Now would you mind all leaving and let me and Birdie be?
My cat approves of that song.
Nice.
I've always been a dog guy, but I tell you, this cat is like amazing. Seriously, it's like jumps up on my lap and wants to be petted. And I always thought cats were like, "Hey man, leave me alone. You do your thing, I'll do my thing, and we'll get along here."
Well, cat guy myself, but here's Kevin Kelso, who's a quilt guy, clearly, but I don't know about cats and dogs. You guys will have to straighten that out.
Also a cat guy. So welcome to the world of cat guys.
I had to
Cat
put my
people.
dog down. I put my dog down about 3 years ago, and I'm
Aw.
ready to now. I'm afraid to just go look, because no one ever goes to just look for a dog. I'm afraid I'll bring home 3 or 4 dogs, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I should get a cat. I don't know.
You might want to consider that. So it's funny you said you challenged yourself to write a cat song because of this acquaintance with the cat. How do you decide what to write about? Obviously that suggested itself to you.
I started writing songs when I got divorced about 10 years ago, and then it just kind of came natural to me, and it was a great therapy. And then I'm not sure if you've ever dabbled in the world of online dating, but there's so much material when you do that. Most of my songs are really about relationships. I've always loved kind of sad love ballads. I really love slow songs. And like I said, I just wanted to challenge myself to write just a crazy little song. And I did a little a video. I have a YouTube channel, Bill Hernandez Music, and I did a video with the cat too. And my buddy, when we produced it, it's all these cat purrs. When on that lick, there's you hear a cat purring, so it's kind of fun, really. But everyone who has a cat appreciates it. So.
Yes, indeed. So the first song is really about relationships. I love the musical simplicity of that. It's like a really haunting kind of pentatonic melody. It really, I think, allows you to hear the lyrics of the song really well. Is that from a real life experience, or is that just an imagined relationship situation?
I've always liked the theme of when you meet someone, or when you really like them, but you just don't know how to tell them, you know. And it's kind of and my mom used to love the song, the Eddie Arnold song, "You Don't Know Me." You put your hand in mine, and so I kind of always had that in the back of my mind.
Yeah, Ray Charles did a great version of that too.
Oh, is that right? Wow, I didn't
Yeah,
know
yeah,
that.
it's
Wow,
great.
okay. And I've always loved that theme, and you know, I worked at Nike for 24 years. I retired 4 years ago, and I tell you, like three quarters of the women that work at Nike are just so beautiful. And you know, like I said, I just wanted to write a song about having deep feelings for someone, and you don't know how to express it to them, and they don't have a clue.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you didn't just do it then.
Not in that case, no, no. But I'm happily retired, so having a blast.
All right. So, do you do any like groups of like prompt groups or anything, or do you just take song ideas, you pluck them from the wild?
Yeah, just you know, I've always. It's funny because I've been in Toastmasters for 18 years, and I
Mm.
look at my life now. Can I get a 5 or 6 minute, or 7 minute speech out of this? What just happened? And I just, you know, just I'm always just sit late at night, just kind of start playing guitar, and things just kind of just come to me. Really, I'm trying to release a Christian album as well. I go to church on Sundays, and I've been working on that. So that's another totally separate project I'm trying to do. But I'm just, you know, I like I said, I worked at Nike 24 years, and I decided life is too short not to pursue your passion and hobby. So 4 years ago, I just said, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it, and I'm having the time of my life.
That's great. I'm always interested in how other experiences people have had, because so many songwriters come at it from other careers or other other backgrounds, and I'm always interested in how those experiences play into your songwriting. So, like you mentioned, Toastmasters. I've never been to Toastmasters, but I assume they talk about how to make your point, how
Yeah,
to
yeah.
and so do you find that you borrow from that tradition to sort of help you, or is they sort of exist in the background?
I think you know what I really got get out of it is just the ability. It's getting out and performing is more fun because you know
Mm.
obviously you know you get up in front of people when you speak, but it's just having fun and not getting nervous when you play out. And I've been just so lucky. Like this summer, I got gigs every Saturday night, and I play with my buddy Rob, and I play with my buddy Alfonso, and um, actually Rob and his wife Penny. We have a little group called the Verbs. We played 3 hours last night, and it's just getting used to that energy of just being able to just like I said, talk between songs, whether or not it's that or just being able to sing in front of people. It's all
Hmm.
about we tell people that come in for the first time to Toastmasters. It's all about the putting the energy out. Most people think about the energy coming in, like, oh, what do they think what do they think about what I'm saying or what I'm wearing? But once you just start thinking about what I want to entertain people, I want to get a message out to people. It's a you're always going to have butterflies, but it's always making those butterflies fly in formation.
I love that.
Yeah, yeah,
All right. Well,
yeah.
thank you very much. I enjoyed
Hey,
hearing your
thank you.
songs. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Bill Hernandez. So we've been here in the West and the East, and we're gonna go right now. And if I can get this to show up on the screen the way I like it, hello, there we go. We are gonna go close by, not terribly far away from Bill Hernandez for Sab Forest. She plays most often, as I understand it, at a place called Pizza Rio in Hillsboro, Oregon, and of course Open Mic America. And we'll hear what she has to say and to sing.
Hello, hello. Yes. I am here over in Forest Grove, Oregon. Bill and I met from doing shows around, and he made some connections for me, so I appreciate that. And that's why I'm here as well. So, this first little song is one I wrote about 4 or 5 years ago. I wrote it during the pandemic, so it's a little bit of a downer, but this is called Headstone, and I hope you enjoy it. Barefoot angel, whisper on the wind,
compass for your heart when you lost where you've been. Ooh. Smooth voice siren, seashell to your ear. I'll catch you in my hands, just trust me, my dear. Ooh. An old town soul I found one day, though my eyes had known you before. From hopeful hello to solemn goodbye, there grew something true and wild, wild, wild. Take me to the coastline, let's fade into monochrome black and white. Hold my silhouette like a vagabond, resisting the call of the wind. I'll kiss you as the lighthouse draws a sailor in. Ooh. Ooh. Ever so lost in uncertainty, when will this all make sense? When loving someone, sometimes you have to let them go to protect them from the demons that have chosen you for a host. A soldier returned home long ago, but the war followed you home. Oh, no. You've been lost since the night when the world began to crumble all around your light. Hold on to what we had. These memories are yours to keep. My heart may be broken, but you shouldn't be. Go on and find your peace. I know you're scared, but won't admit. I know that you pray, but can't let me in. Take care of your trials and I will mine. The fork in the road's inside. You say you're leaving, but you're already gone. Here I go on my own. Ooh, here lies our headstone. Ooh, 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 ooh,
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Oh, that was
Thank you.
really
That's
lovely.
awesome.
Thank you. And if that wasn't sad enough, this next one is worse. This one I wrote it sometime last year. This film came out on Netflix called His Three Daughters, and it's about grief and familial differences, which I'm sure everyone, if you haven't experienced it already, you will probably in the future. So I was really inspired when I watched this. Watched it like 5 times in the first week it came out. So this is called Three Little Ducks, based on a lullaby they sing to each other in the end. So 3 sisters, 3 little ducks.
Three little ducks round the dining table. A hospice nurse visits 4 hours at a time. Will he, won't he report each morning? Yet he waits for his girls' indifferences to flatline. 3 little ducks in their father's apartment. Katie's got wine like water on tap. Christina's got yoga and meditates to breathe. And Rachel's got Victor on the curb to warn her about the leaves. No, silly girls, you'll be alright. After I've gone away to some afterlife, you've more in common than distance lying in between. Little duck, someday you'll waddle over the hill back to me. Ooh, back to me. Katie Duck's got 3 of her own, strung out on the grief. Her oldest won't take her calls, so she parents Rachel for apples gone soft in the fridge, obsessing over the obituary and the DNR slip. Christina Duck is the sun itself, calls her family across the country every day without fail. Ditch rooms in school, a Grateful Deadhead through and through. Her sisters don't know it, but she's the glue. Rachel Duck has an Audrey poster, peeling at the edges right beside her sanity. She'll roll her green while she tallies the scores for the only father who chose her. Silly girls, you'll be alright. After I've gone away to some afterlife, you've more in common than distance lying in between. Little duck, someday you'll waddle over the hill back to me. Oh, back to me. Ooh. They say it could happen at any time between now and then. They say it's coming at any moment. Who's to say when? If I hold my breath for the time it takes, will I be gone too? If I hold my breath, count the Mississippis, will death ring out before I get to 2?
Wow.
Just beautiful.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Gorgeous.
Very nice.
I just love your sound.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was going to comment on that too. You have a very ethereal tone at times in your singing, and it really matches up well with the things you're singing about. So,
Oh gosh, thank you. I appreciate that.
It's funny you said that first song, Headstone, you called it, you said the second one's even sadder. It's funny because I didn't experience the first one as sad.
I suppose it's interesting because I forget that when I was writing that, it started out as wanting to be a love song, and then the person I was with at the time, we weren't together very long, but when COVID hit, they had broken up with me at the same time. And he was somebody who had served, and when everything had kind of fallen apart, he was having a lot of anxiety and things. And so it started out as wanting to write something as a love letter, and then once that was over, it kind of turned into being this thing of like, well, I have to let this person go. I don't really have control over it, but what it was meaningful. So it kind of, I guess to me, it's kind of a, I don't know, I'm not sure, I have a word in my brain of how to describe it. Maybe like cathartic is a better word to describe it, I suppose. But
Yeah, I mean, and I get it. I mean, obviously, headstone has a particular connotation. So, but I think that's an interesting idea to describe, you know, sort of memorializing the end of the relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know what I guess I took from it. There's a lot of imagery in it, and I think we were just sort of on an emotional tour with you. You were sort of guiding us around and letting us look at things that had held significance for you. But yeah, I wouldn't have called it sad. Maybe melancholy, though. I suppose it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. I love how in the second song you what's it? Is it called Three Sisters, Three Little Ducks, or is that the title?
Yeah. Yeah, it's called Three Little Ducks. There was like a lullaby at the end of this film where the three sisters, their fathers passed away now in the end, and the middle child is like singing. They're all adults, and they're singing this like lullaby about a family of little ducklings and stuff. And so when I was writing it, I was like, oh, there's three sisters. I'll just call it Three Little Ducks. So.
I think what's interesting about that, first of all, it's a wonderful little opening line because it gives us a sort of a like, what is this about? Three little ducks at a dining room table. Is this a children's song? What is this about? And so I think there's a whimsy about that description that sort of softens the blow, as it were, of the emotions of someone's passing, someone dear to that passing.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of really sharp observations in that song. Again, I guess I don't know that I would call it sad. It's about a sad topic, but it seems like there's a certain philosophical character to it. Like, this is how it is.
Yeah, it's very honest, and I'm somebody who a lot of my songs, which I always feel a little insecure about, but I know it's kind of a superpower, I guess, is that a lot of my music ends up feeling a little melancholy, or at least the topic of it seems to be pretty dark or deeper and everything. It's really hard for me to write happy stuff, and I don't know why. I'm still figuring that out. But with Three Little Ducks, it's like watching it kind of, if you've ever had any sort of like familial indifference, and in this case, like, I was worried when I was writing it, when I sing it to people, if it's going to be hard to interpret, because it definitely helps seeing the film and understanding the context from it. And I tried really hard to kind of paint the picture of understanding, like, you kind of get to dissect it in your own way and being like, oh, these are three, obviously it's kind of introduced as there's a loss that's about to happen, and kind of describing the three sisters and their differences and how they're kind of coexisting in this week of time of taking care of their father and everything. And so, yeah, I don't know. When I wrote it was very much based on this film, and I think the ending line of it, basically saying it could happen at any time, and if I hold my breath for the time it takes, will it be long enough that I'm going to go with him? Or if I hold my breath, will it only take a matter of a second and he'll be gone before I can like hold my breath long enough, or something like that, which tends to hit me pretty hard. It's pretty dark to me, at least. But yeah, I definitely wanted to paint a picture with it of it telling a story of the film without you needing to see it, but also kind of talking about grief in a way that kind of talks about how it impacts the people that you leave behind when you're gone.
Yeah, well, and I think he succeeded in that. I think the song is definitely self-contained. We definitely get that notion. I love the observation. The sisters don't know it, but she's the glue. That's a very sweet observation, and I think so many people can identify with that moment. That period of time is not a moment, a period of time when someone's in hospice care and you don't know how long it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It could be tomorrow, it could be months, and that brings its own emotional challenges and relationship challenges.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you really nailed communicating that to us. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you indeed, Sav. I got the name of your town wrong because I thought part of it was your last name with the way it was written when I got it. So oh well. Chris Steele, what do you think? You wanna play a couple songs for us here?
I mean, if you'll have me, sure. I mean, heck.
You're on the list.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I got two for you here today. One's from about 5 years ago off an EP that I did. This is a little bit of a song. Actually, both of them are songs about moving on. But it's let's start with this one. This is Pulling Nails. I used up all the boxes, I took out all the trash. I'll get the truck in Brampton, save a little cash. I thought I'd have a future, drywall and driving nails. Still I thought otherwise, bad times and falling sales. They say it's so much harder, try and save a stash. Can't even find your fortune, digging holes up in the patch. Past times will pass the time, lost moments with the hit. Life is a fulsome journey, this here's a sorry trip. And it's time to leave the line. I've had enough of losing, I've seen enough of pain. All plans are worth refusing while I make amends. Won't catch me again, cause it's only pulling nails. Stuck on the 401, going nowhere with no one else. I'm frozen here in time, still hope my heart can melt. I've laid off my ambitions, I've outsourced my reserve. I've mortgaged all my dreams and the future I had earned. Past is gone, why should I mind? Life moves on, it's time to leave the line. Your absence makes the presence of everything that came before. I knew I paid my penance when you were standing at my door. I've had enough of losing, I've seen enough of pain. All plans are worth refusing while I make amends. Won't catch me again, cause it's only pulling nails. Only pulling nails.
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, Chris.
Great, Chris.
All right, now I'm going to go in a completely different feel here. This is actually one from February album writing month. And again, it's a song about resignation, but it's a song also about like finding comfort and being able to find a new direction. This is called Burn the Ships. Sunrise across the sea. The cliffs right ahead of me, the goal I was told to see. Stood in my still stand, sails trained to be free. Take these mighty ships and burn them to the sea. Set the sail and head for the edges of the world. And all the joys of life I thought would be unfurled. I once believed the faded tales of riches I might find. Now the gnawing fear is at the edges of my mind. So burn the ships, don't wanna roam the sea no more. I won't wander endlessly no more. So burn the ships, don't wanna roam the sea no more. Won't wander endlessly no more. The journey of discovery, finding who we're supposed to be. While some vision we're sold binds us from being free. Take a pause and recognize the dream we had earned. Trying to forget the things we never should have earned. Sun rises in the east and drops to the west. It's time to put the burden down and see what I have left. I still feel the ocean's call, sails trained to be free. Oh, but take these mighty ships and burn them to the sea. So burn the ships, don't wanna roam the sea no more. I won't wander endlessly no more. So burn the ships, don't wanna roam the sea no more. Won't wander endlessly no more.
Nice job, man.
All right.
Great set.
So Chris Steele, I want to point out that he is to be found at the Eagle's Nest Revisited on Fridays, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And then in person, you can see him at Ward 4 in Auburndale, Massachusetts. All right, I'm going to turn you over to your interviewer here now.
Thanks, Mike.
Hey, Chris.
Hey, Kevin. How are you doing?
Great. How are you?
Doing all right, man.
You seem like you're doing well. That's you're a very forceful guitar player at least on those two songs. You got a really, really strong style.
Well, thank you very much. It's honestly, I don't know where it comes from, other than just trying to like get yourself heard when there's a bunch of other people playing at the same time.
Oh, I suppose there's that. You play in rock bands at all? You play in...
Yeah, I grew up playing in rock bands, and honestly, that's probably where a lot of my style comes from. So, I've always written on acoustic, but I'm always writing with a little bit of an electric, with a distorted electric in mind. So to try and actually transition over it definitely comes along.
Okay. Yeah, I mean particularly that first song, I could really hear that with a full rock kind of band. That was cool.
That's how it got recorded. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the two songs really are thematically kind of in opposition. The one is about moving on, and the other one is about I'm not willing to move on anymore, right? There's sort of
an acceptance. Yeah.
Yeah, this is where I am, and I don't want to go anywhere. I'm tired of moving around. So, it's an interesting story. Although, I was thinking about that metaphor of pulling nails.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, nails are not permanent, but it's not easy to pull them either.
No, it's not. And it's funny because I actually, that song actually came from sitting in an airport and basically watching a couple of people walk along, basically construction folks who had just been off a job site. And I had worked in home building when I was an undergraduate. And there was a little bit of it where I was just kind of like, putting myself in that position. And, doing demolition was probably the worst part that you ever did, was basically, particularly pulling nails and pulling drywall down, was just doing that and roofing were two of the worst things you possibly could do. And somehow I just worked it into a metaphor.
Cool. Well, I'm glad you didn't hurt your hands doing that. That's the kind of work that.
Oh, don't say that I didn't. It's just I've healed.
Okay. Okay. So, what inspires you to write? What gets you to decide to put pen to paper?
I'm first of all a very introspective guy, and just there's a lot that ends up going on in life, and every once in a while I'll just find myself with a couple of couplets as they're going around in my head, based on the things that I'm seeing. Others, it's just observational. As I see people in life, I end up traveling a lot. So I've written a lot of songs just basically by observation or things that I've overheard as I go. And just
it's with lyrics.
With lyrics, and you do that, but then also there's another part of me that's constantly fiddling around on the guitar, and when I find an idea I like, I go ahead and I turn the recorder on and get it down. And every once in a while, I'll actually have the discipline to bring together the lyrics that I've written with the music that I've written, and just hopefully some of those things fit together nicely.
Well, those fit together great. I mean, those both of those songs really, the music really demonstrated the theme a little bit, so it was great.
Yeah, brain seems to be working in the same field, just maybe running on different tracks until they come together.
We probably all experienced that. It's like, oh, I didn't know I was writing those words.
I didn't know I was writing that song, but there it is. Yeah,
there
exactly.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Kevin.
Okay. Thank you indeed, Chris Steele. Yes, we all know that feeling. Hey, here's another feeling that I have for you. Can you imagine two better words than these? Free guitar. Everyone who's on this show, performers and the volunteer hosts alike, gets a ticket in the Sacred Fishbowl for the annual drawing for one of Capo Dave's, and you can see him there with it fluffing through them, one of Capo Dave's Dandy hybrid guitars. So what is a Dandy hybrid? This is an acoustic guitar. It's unique in its design that really, really projects its distinctive sound at a considerably higher volume than flat-top guitars. Whether it's at an open mic, a circle jam, like I used one yesterday and was able to be heard while others were not, a campfire, or an open boxcar on a moving train, a Dandy hybrid delivers. Learn about the Dandies and hear them played on the website dandyguitars.com. That's DANDYGUITARS.com, dandyguitars.com. The YouTube chat's going to have a link placed in there, and you will be able to find a link to the Dandy hybrids at the bottom of the openmicamerica.com home page. And I'm going to turn the little look to this over to Mr. Capo Dave, who builds them.
Thanks, Mike. Really hearing some great music tonight. Everyone sounds so good. And yeah, the next drawing for the Dandy guitar, free Dandy guitar, is December the 14th. And just to tell you a little bit about the guitars, the project started out as an attempt to perfect a guitar that split the difference between a normal flat top and an arch top guitar. And I was building them with the floating bridge, and they evolved into a floating bridge with what I call an anchor bridge down below. And that's pretty much where this design stopped, and it stays. The guitars make a very distinctive sound. It's dry, very dry. It's funky. It's great for old-timey stuff. You'll hear Mike Simpson play one later tonight. They excel at straight line solos. They really lack a lot of the overtones that are characteristic of normal flat top guitars. And I've started building conventional to the extent that they have a normal bridge. But these are still hybrid guitars in that the elements that make them a hybrid are that the soundboard on a dandy guitar is double the arc of a flat top guitar. Flat top guitar is 30-foot arc. These are 16-foot arc. Number one. Number two, dandy guitars, fingerboards float above the body. They're not connected. And it makes a big difference. That much more of the body is free to resonate. The other thing is dandy guitars have what's called 0 fret. Instead of having a nut, there's a string guide that's above the first fret, which is actually called 0 fret. That makes the guitar extremely playable. Think about when you slap a capo on a guitar, all of a sudden it's a lot easier to play, because typically a nut on a guitar has the strings up considerably higher than the position of the string on a fret. So those are the two types of dandy guitars. And now there are two shapes of dandy guitars. And I'm going to show you. This is probably closest to what you would call a triple O shape, but I'm pretty excited about these. They really have a great tone, a lot of overtones, and still with the high arch top and the floating fingerboard, these things project a lot of volume. So that's all I have to say. Take a look at the website. There's a whole archive of all the guitars that are on there. I'm building I started to build number 39 just the other day. Number 38 is about to go together. And so December 7th will be that drawing, and I'll probably be awarding one of the new conventional bridge dandies on that date. So that's all I have. Thanks for listening, and let's get on with the music.
All right, and we are going to do that indeed. We're going to start up here as soon as we get the spotlight off Dave.
Okay.
He's so handsome, people want me to leave him up there. I'm getting emails all like crazy. Eric H.F. Law from Rancho Mirage, California. Eric does mostly virtual open mics, he says, but Senior Planet open mic and the Braver Angels Song Fair open mic. But he also facilitates a couple of peer feedback sessions, one for the People's Music Network called If I Had a Song, and one for the Braver Angels where they share songs intended to depolarize America, and I assume that means politically. So I'm going to let Eric give us a demonstration of what he does and play.
Thank you, Mike. Well, actually, I'm going to do a couple from my upcoming album, which is being mixed right now. And a while ago, a very well-known folk singer said to me that folk singer has a responsibility. We're the historians. We're historians that document things that people ignore, that are important to capture. And you look at Woody Guthrie's work. I mean, I don't have to explain anymore. So I put in a couple songs in this new album, specifically for the indigenous folks in the U.S. and Canada. So this one is about the indigenous children that was buried in unmarked graves in the residential school. In the U.S., they're called Indian school, where they round up Native American and First Nation kids to educate them, quote unquote. And in May of 2021, 215 unmarked graves were found in a residential school ground in British Columbia. And in another month, 751 graves were found in another school in Saskatchewan. And within 2 years, they found 1,700 graves. And the official number of students died in those schools is around 4,000. The unofficial, who knows? So this is a song to make sure these children are not forgotten. Way, 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 way. 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 Down by the meadow where grass overgrown, I hear the groaning of your bones. Truth always wants to be known. Truth always wants to be known. Those who wrote history erased trace of you. They said our stories, they can't be true. Truth always leaves us a clue. Truth always leaves us a clue. A beat, a button, fragments of your clothes, the wind and the rain in time will expose. Who will notice them, and how long would it take? Truth always patiently wait. Way, 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 way. Way, 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 way. Shapes of depressions emerged from the ground, right where your body's broken down. Truth always wants to be found. Truth always wants to be found. We dare to shine a light on where you've been, however disturbing and gruesome the scene. Truth will let us breathe, and truth will let us grieve. Truth set free brings us relief. Way, 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 way. Way, 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 way. Down by the meadow where grass overgrown. Way, 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 way. Way, 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 way. Way, 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 way. Way, 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 way.
Beautiful.
Incredible.
some of you heard my other songs, so know that I'm kind of obsessed with graves. So, but anyway, this one is not about grave. The next one is about how indigenous people, mostly women, often are missing or killed, and no one seems to care. And then when someone named Natalie disappeared, or Gabby disappeared, and suddenly there's movie mates about it, there's documentary, now there's a new 5-part series from Netflix about Gabby again. Now, Gabby disappeared in Wyoming, in the same area. 710 indigenous women were missing in that past year. Did we hear about that? No, we did not. And so the National Crime Information Center reported in 2016 about 5,700 missing indigenous people. And the Federal Department of Justice only logged 115 cases. So there. So this is called I'm Missing Too. My name is not Natalie, but I've gone missing too. Will you come looking for me? Will you go searching for the truth? Will you go to my mom's little house, asking her what a good girl I've been? You know the answer, you know the answer, looking by the color of my skin. Hey, 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 hey. My name is not Gabby, but I've gone missing too. Will you come looking for me? Will you go searching for the truth? Will you mention my name on TV more than 200 times in a week? You know the answer, you know the answer by the language that I speak. I ain't no criminal and I didn't run away, but you don't seem to care when no one has seen me for days. I might be lost or trapped underground. There are thousands of me without names and our story out there, still waiting to be found. Hey, 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 hey. My name is not lazy, but I've gone missing too. Will you come looking for me? Will you go searching for the truth? Will you make up a law in my name? Will you fight for the baby in me? You know the answer, you know the answer, looking at my family. You know the answer, you know the answer, looking at my family. Hey, 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 hey.
Wow. Powerful.
Thank you.
All right, let me turn you over to Kevin here for your interview. Get you guys on screen.
Thank you, Eric. Those were lovely. I know Eric a little bit from Braver Angels. He runs I guess it's a song sharing opportunity on Zoom, occasionally on Braver Angels. So I'm really interested in in what you started off with, and you said that folk singers are the historians. It's an interesting perspective and seems to inform kind of what both of the songs that you presented to us today.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you look at especially Woody Guthrie's song, will we be singing for those who's singing about the Dust Bowl, singing about the poor, the working people, and really get into the minds and the feelings and the experience of those people without those songs, and they are not being taught in schools, and so there was a big woo hoo hoo, oh, we found this horrible thing about these graves and by this school for about 2 months, and then suddenly nobody hear about it anymore.
Yeah.
We keep tracking of it. Every other month they found more graves, and same with the they start a commission to study this, and then you don't hear anything about it, and writing a song about it had the potential of, especially today, you put it on YouTube, you put it into Spotify and all of those places, and it's there forever for people to discover it. And
Yeah.
I think it's our responsibility as songwriters to really look for and record and present these important experience of our history, so we can learn from them.
Mm. So you in both of the songs you use some vocalizations. I'm just curious. The first one, the way, 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 and the second one more of a hey, hey. Are either of those from indigenous speech, or are from indigenous music at all, or are they just things that you added into the song?
Way, way, way is kind of with a I think it's Navajo. I don't know. Don't quote me on this. It's one of the I've heard one of these lullaby that they will sing to a child.
Mm.
Way, 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 way. And it's often in the pentatonic scales kind of thing. So that's where I got that from, and it's for that song it's important to draw people in. So
Yeah.
using some kind of a sound instead of an intellectual way. Hey Hey is really we laugh about it back in the days with Indian and Cowboys movie, when you see Indian jumping around, they gibberish. No, it's not gibberish. Hey Hey is one. It's like it's like a meditative
Okay.
sound, and
Interesting.
so I hope I'm not being disrespectful by using this two syllables to sounds for the songs, and
Mhm.
and for me it's like, hey, we're here.
Yeah.
Don't forget us, so.
Well, it's nice to have those incorporated in your songs.
Hmm.
It's interesting because you brought up this story, and I very clearly recall when it was surfaced. It had a very Canadian angle about it, right? I don't recall a similar set of stories for the US. I can only assume that they are out there, but I don't recall hearing. I heard a lot in the US media about the Canadian stories, but
At
I didn't hear
least
any similar
at
stories.
least 50 Indian school where they discover graves in the US. Do
In
we
the
hear
US.
about it? No.
No, we really didn't.
That really is the issue of what I'm trying to get
Yeah.
at with this song.
Yeah.
And especially the Canadians are a little more honest than we are. You go to the Royal Museum, the first thing you see is the First Nation people greeting you, voices and images. We don't see any of that in the U.S., and when this thing blow up, and people don't want to go there. It don't happen in Canada. It can't happen to us, so, yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing those perspectives and you're right. I mean, that is the roots of folk music, is people talking about what really happened. And I guess there's an oral tradition in amongst the indigenous people of those deaths, but it wasn't taken seriously officially until they did the actual recovery of
Yeah, in
bodies.
fact, they have been complaining about missing women. Uh, Parents go to the kids were taken away and then they came home. They had no recourse, nowhere to go on this. Just imagine when it's Father's Day today.
Yeah.
Imagine your kids was taken away, being told they're going to be educated, and then they never came home. And it's just a heartbroken. Thousands of family had to deal with this. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, I can get depressed over this, but that's why I write songs so that I can share this and express this and invite people to pay attention to this.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Eric.
You're welcome.
And Eric, keep writing. Keep writing, man. It's wonderful stuff. Next up, we have Marilyn Walker. And Marilyn is in Boulder, Colorado. And at Boulder County Roots Music Project and Bricks Longmont and Oscar Blues and others are in local restaurants and coffee shops. You can see her. I guess she's all over Boulder. We're going to check the sound volume of her stuff here.
Okay.
For a second.
How's that?
I think you're good.
Okay, great. Great. Well, thanks for having me. It was actually Eric who told me about this in one of the Braver Angels song sharing things. So I'm really happy to be here. I just went right out and reached out to you guys and signed up. So here I am. I was actually going to share another song, but then I realized it's Father's Day, and this is one of my older songs, but my father passed too young and I lost him too young. Where'd you go? 'Cause there's something you should know, something I've been trying to tell you. Well, Daddy, you up and died, and though I've tried and tried and tried, I just can't make sense of why you'd go. You were supposed to walk me down the aisle, see your grandkids smile, hold that little child upon your knee. Well, now that child has grown, I've done my best all on my own to tell him all those stories you told me. We went chasing fireflies in the Carolina twilight, catching salamanders down by the stream. I thought you would last forever. Sometimes goodbye don't just mean in between. Where'd you go? I remember playing in the snow when you dropped me off at school in Colorado. I was off to see the world, not quite grown up little girl. I turned my back, but I cried when you had to go. And I was sure you'd walk me down the aisle, see your grandkids smile, hold that little child upon your knee. Well, now that child has grown, I've done my best all on my own to tell him all those stories you told me. The last lesson you ever taught me was to hold today in my hand. The future is not a promise in the Carolina twilight and catch some salamanders down by the stream. It turns out nothing lasts forever. Sometimes goodbye don't just mean in between. Yes, sometimes goodbye means a whole lot more than in between.
Beautiful.
Thank you. So these are actually both off, I'm working on my second album, which is being mixed. Somebody else also mentioned that. So a few years back, we remodeled our house, and to do that, we had to pack everything up, and then we had to unpack it. And when we unpacked it, I realized how much stuff I had that I'd lived without, and I thought, why do I have all this stuff? So anyway, that was inspired. I had to get somebody's help to deal with it. Let me see. Well, I had me a day of reckoning, looking around my place. I thought maybe I should declutter, make a little space. 'Cause what if I die before I use all this stuff up from Costco? What if my mayo jar's really a lifetime supply? My possessions are piling, I'm behind in my filing. I don't know where to start, how to try. I've got too much stuff. I get more stuff every day. I start drinking and priming, no nickel and diamond, from Amazon onto eBay. I joined a 12-step Shoppers Anonymous group, and the first thing they asked was my name. I thought, wouldn't you like to know that? So I told them my name was Jane. Well, Jane, they said, we are so glad you came here today. Well, Jane, there's no shame here. We're all broken in our own way. Our possessions are piling, we're behind in our filing. With a nod, I said, have a nice day. I've got too much stuff. I get more stuff every day. I start drinking and priming, no nickel and diamond, from Amazon onto eBay. I dialed 1-800-GOT-JUNK, and they said I was too far gone. So I switched on the tube to relax for a bit. I couldn't see through the pile I had spawned. I could drive out to Walmart, I hear they are open all night. I might find some deals on puzzles or sparkly lights. I'm done with my pining, I'm over my whining. New shoes will make everything right. 'Cause I like my stuff, I can't seem to get enough. Shopping is thrilling filling from Amazon onto eBay. It's the American way. I've got too much stuff. I get more stuff every day. I start drinking and priming, no nickel or diamond, from Amazon onto eBay. It's the American way. Have you done your shopping today? Go ahead and click. It'll be okay.
Fun song.
Well, I don't know if it'll be
Welcome,
any
Marilyn.
help, Marilyn, but I'm going to turn you over to Kevin Kelso for a little discussion about your stuff.
Too much stuff, a very common problem, isn't it?
I think I'm not the only one kind of get that vibe.
Honestly not. Although, I feel like it's not really a problem until you move. It's
Well,
moving that brings it all into focus, right?
Yeah.
Although it's interesting, you said you had the problem after you move when you were trying to unpack, whereas when I've moved, it's been like, oh my God, I can't bring all this stuff with me.
Well, when we were packing up, we just like threw everything into boxes. We were just like, because we were going to unpack it. We weren't actually, moving. We put some of it, like we were just moving it around our house. We had to clear this whole main floor of the house and so it was just like jammed over here and then jammed over there. And then when I went to get it out, I was like, oh my God. But really, I've had the theme. I've had the idea of the song for a long time. That was,
Yeah, I had a weird experience. I walked into a Costco one time and, it's just, there's stuff everywhere. And all of a sudden it just occurred to me, like, this is all headed for the landfill, right? It's like, we got it for a little while and then it's just going to be in the landfill. It's a matter of time. When did you start writing songs?
In, shoot. 2015, I think it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
recently. Okay.
Yeah, pretty recent. Well, yeah, that's 10 years ago now. So,
Yeah, no,
it's not that I used to be able to say I was a baby songwriter. Now I don't have that excuse. But yeah.
And what was it that caused you to decide that's what you wanted to do at that moment?
I'd always loved music. I actually like rewrote the lyrics to songs my whole life. And I was standing in my backyard. Chuck Pyle played right here where I'm sitting right now. I don't know if he was called the Zen Cowboy. He was like my favorite singer-songwriter. And like miraculously after the big remodel, he came and he did a house concert here, and we were in the backyard talking and sharing life experiences. And he was talking about my life and he goes, gosh, you've done so much. And I said, yeah, but you get to travel around and play music. And he goes, oh, you could do that. So I think he gave me permission.
Okay.
And then actually he passed away, sadly, like 2 months later. And the very next day, I wrote my first full-fledged beginning to ending song, which was a goodbye to him. And it felt like it just dropped out of the sky. And I'm like, oh, that's where songs come from. They can just drop out of the sky.
Oh, well, wow. So he was a huge impact on you. And
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I feel like he's just like led me by the hand. Yeah.
You mentioned salamanders in your first song, which immediately there's something so specific about that, and immediately caused me to think about, like, are there still salamanders? I mean, when I was a kid, I could occasionally find them in the creek behind the house, but I don't hear anybody talking about salamanders.
No, I mean, both fireflies and salamanders have their populations have just plummeted. It's really sad. So the Too Much Stuff song was I put nature into a lot of my songs. That's like my focus. And so I didn't do that on purpose. That was just based on real experiences of chasing fireflies and being in the mountains of Western North Carolina and catching salamanders. And we'd play at that for hours.
Yeah, well, I think it resonates with us immediately as something that relates to loss, right? Things
Yeah.
that
Yes.
are not as easily available as they once were.
Right. Right.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Lovely to hear you.
Thank you.
All right, unmute myself here. Marilyn, thank you very much. Great to hear your stuff. And next up, we have the, dare I say, world famous host of the Music Matters Showcase. I play open mics outside of the United States, virtual ones, on a fairly regular basis. And I will tell people, well, have you ever heard of, oh yeah, we know that one. Yeah, it's like they always already know, you know, so. Joseph, let's have you unmute and play for us.
Wow, thank you. I don't feel that way, but appreciate the sentiment. Hey, everyone's got their 15 minutes of fame. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and just jump into it. I think it speaks for itself. What is it really? What is a song? Can it be pretty and still be strong? Is it a boat to keep us afloat during the storm? I used to think I know, but I don't know no more. So I grabbed my guitar like a rifle for the war. I didn't know who I was fighting, and I didn't know what for. I was shattered and I was broken, right down to my very core. Yet somehow I kept on coming back for more. What is it really? What is a song? Can it be pretty, silly, and still be strong? If you cut it, does it bleed? Does it have something that you need? So I kept on writing to see what I could get, but the lessons that I learned I would promptly forget. Still I felt like an archaeologist digging in the ground. It was my own heart and memories there to be found. What is it really? What is a song? Is it a wiggle, a maiden call, a psalm, a poem, an anthem, nothing at all? Is it a soap bubble, or will it see you through? Is it just smoke and mirrors, or can it cut your heart in two? There were times when I felt like giving up, for it would always be too little, and it would always be too much. Yet still I kept. It took me deeper than I ever went before. So it is something I got to explore. What is it really? What is a song? Thank you so much. Images dance across the screen. Say choose your side, choose your team. Like that's the thing, like that's the thing that matters. Flags will fly, fireworks pop in the air. Bands will rock, amplifiers blare. But in the end, people folding up their chairs. That's the thing, yeah, that's the thing that matters. Trophies gather dust on the shelf, don't mean a thing to no one else. Grandma in the kitchen, trying to bake. Dad with his pole down at the lake. Don't take a genius, for heaven's sake, to know that's a thing, that's a thing that matters. Two little eyes, two little legs, two little hands, two little legs, beautiful little eyes in a beautiful little head. The feeling coursing through your chest lets you know that that's a thing, that's a thing that matters. So digging deep, dig you down there, find those things for which you care. Give you a little more juice, a little more flair. That's how you know that that's a thing. That's how you know that that's a thing that matters.
Great.
Very nice.
I love
right,
your guitar
Joseph.
playing style.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's wonderful. We're gonna have Kevin do your interview now.
It's time for your close-up now, Joseph. So that's interesting to me. You know, I was thinking about when I was listening to that, I mean, a song that's about the things that matters, or the thing, what's the title of That's the Thing That Matters?
Things that matter, yeah, because
Things that matter.
it's more than one thing. More than one thing matters.
Sure, sure. You know, it's a song that's about that. That's very encompassing.
Yeah,
Tackling a lot.
It is, and again, like I think it was Mr. Steele said earlier, it just kind of came out of nowhere. So I just try to get out of the way and see what comes out. And sometimes it's a keeper, sometimes it's not. But
Yeah, it's funny because both your songs really relate to the notion of the significance of songs. You know, the first one talking is in the subgenre of songs about songs. And the
Right.
second is itself not really about songs, but it's a song about things that matter. And so, you know, coming after Eric, who's, you know, sort of
Mm,
writes songs about, you know, the larger issues.
right.
There, you know, and other people have done that too.
Mhm.
I'm curious how you're working as a host um, for a open mic. I'm losing the
Yeah.
words. Influences your own songwriting. How does that change your
Mm.
perspective, you think? Have you noticed that in your own
I don't
writing?
know. I don't think it's being a host. I think it's my own sort of needs. Like the songs are kind of the song for me. The songs are the kind of there for me, and then I just hope that other people can relate to them, and then it'll be there for them too. You know, like you play a song or you write a song and you have to play it over and over to remember it. And then you play it out a lot of times and then you have to play it again to remember it. And it sort of becomes like a landmark for my life. And so a lot of the songs I write are like things that I need to remember. I need to remember what's important. I need to think about and reflect on what's a song. Or like I might, you know, have like a song about like how it's okay to make a mistake or how it's um, good to truly listen or, you know, whatever it is that I
Mm,
need.
interesting.
Yeah, so it's self-therapy, I guess, kind of medicinal music. And I just hope that other people, it benefits them as much as it benefits myself because I think music has literally saved me, I would say. You know, it's like when I'm gloomy, when I'm in a dark spot, pick up the guitar. When I'm
Hmm.
stressed, pick up the guitar. You know, it's like it's there for me. You know.
So that's interesting. You're describing a process of writing to what you need, what it
Hmm.
is that you are searching for or wanting to remind yourself of, which I think is an interesting perspective.
Yeah, that's it for me. I mean, everybody has their own thing, and like I guess the first song kind of encompassed that. Like, a song could be an anthem, it could be a psalm, it could be a poem, it could be a history, it could be. I think it can be a million different things. It just has to work for you, and it has to work for the audience in some sort of level. So there's some just level of it connecting in some way to people, and I think that's what's amazing about music for me is it connects you to yourself, it connects you to other people. It's a
Yeah.
sort of it's brought us all here together right now on this Zoom call, who we would never have met without it, right? And so it's just a box with strings or your vocal cords, and but it's also sort of an excuse for us to sort of express ourselves on a deeper level and have better conversations than hey, it sure is sunny today or whatever, get a little
Yeah.
deeper and or whatever you do is not that's not the only way, but for me that's the way it is.
Great. Well, it's just a box with strings, but you play it very interestingly. So I really yeah, that was great. Thank you very
Yeah, I
much.
use the alternate tunings a lot.
Hmm.
I think that helps me too with my songwriting because like I'll kind of get lost. I don't know what chord I'm playing. I will so it makes me listen a little bit more, and then I'll find something that intrigues me and stirs something in me, and then I kind of know there's a song in there somewhere because I'm responding to it on an emotional level. So
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us. It was great to hear
thank
you.
you guys. Thanks, everybody. Everyone's been fantastic. If any of you musicians playing here tonight want to play at Music Matters Showcase, it's on Facebook, Music Matters Showcase on Facebook. Just let me know because you are all wonderful. And Dave and Mike, and this is just a really an operation of love, and I just appreciate you all. So thank you.
Thank you. All right, so I guess I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay on the mic here because I am going to. Speaking of Mike, I'm going to introduce Mike, our genial MC today. Mike Simpson is also going to perform for us, and he's gonna close out the show with his performance. He's from Saratoga, California, so back to California, and in addition to playing here, and in addition to playing the Music Matters Showcase that Joseph Isaacs hosts, he's at Open Mic Corona, Rick Merritt's Open Mic at the First Unitarian Church of San Jose. And but today we've got him here.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Um, this is a song that I wanna point out. Um, it is not an original. I mean, you will all know it. However, on Open Mic America, Dave has established a regimen that lets us play stuff that is written prior to the imposition of the laws of business in 1925. So anything from pre-1925 is fair game. And he calls them heritage songs, which is an excellent name for it. And this is indeed one. Made famous a little later than it was written, about 30 years later than it was written. It was written by Ada Blankhorn in 1899, and it was made popular by the Carter family. There's a dark and a troubled side of life. There's a bright and a sunny side too. Though we meet with the darkness and strife, the sunny side we also may view. But keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day, it will brighten all our ways, if we keep on the sunny side of life. Oh, the storm and its fury broke today, crushing hopes that we cherish so dear. The clouds and the storm will in time pass away. The sun again will shine bright and clear. So keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day, it will brighten all our ways, if we keep on the sunny side of life. Let us greet with a song of hope each day. Though the moment be cloudy or fair, let us trust in our Savior always, to keep us everyone in His care. You should sing it now, you know it. Keep on the sunny side, always on the sunny side. Keep on the sunny side of life. It will help us every day, it will brighten all our ways, if we keep on the sunny side of life. If we keep on the sunny side of life. if we keep on the sunny side of life. Oh, well, thank you.
Wow, wonderful.
All right. So, of course, the other thing, besides heritage songs you can sing here, is you can sing your own stuff. This one, this one is the second of what I'm hoping will be a trifecta, a hat trick. The first one is has a reference to a thing from my childhood. I had an aunt who owned a tavern in Kansas, and it had a sign that fascinated me because it advertised two different kinds of American beers, but it had this thing where it looked like the water was rolling on the sign. I don't know if any of you have ever seen those. Most of you are probably far too young. So it was a favorite thing of mine, and however, I got to witness very young people who were drinking far more than they should have. Because not only did she sell the beer that was legal, 3.2, she would also sell a lot of what they called good Cokes. That is to say, half Coca-Cola, half Jack Daniels. So, yes, this also has a reference to a beer sign in it, and the third song will, once completed, also have a reference to a beer sign in it. The Lone Star beer sign says it's bedtime, I think. My thirsty self tells me it's time for a drink. The man at the bar says he's closing too, but the clock in my heart says I'm only a quarter past you. When you said you were leaving, I only asked when. I was happy before, I'll be happy again. But this time I'm seeing a new shade of blue, and the clock in my heart says I'm only a quarter past you. We were made for each other, for so we did dream. You laughed at my jokes as I stared at your jeans. Then the laughter died down and we both looked around to find things weren't as smooth as they seemed. Back home, it's still midnight on the microwave. For the last 7 years, it's been blinking that way. The watch by the bed says it's 3:22, but each beat of my heart says I'm only a quarter past you. The Lone Star beer sign says it's bedtime, I think, but my thirsty self tells me it's time for a drink. The man at the bar says he's closing at 2, but the clock in my heart, the clock in my heart, the clock here in my heart says I'm only a quarter past you.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love that.
I
Beautiful.
love that. That's awesome.
Quarter past you.
That's so good, Mike. What a great hook. A quarter past you. That's really great. A classic sort of cry in your beer song, right?
Well, yeah, I have to say so. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm curious, what caused you to pick a Carter family? I know the song goes back further than that, but we all know sort of the Carter family version of that. So what caused you to pull that one out today?
Well, I think a lot of us are walking around, as the Canadians would say, feeling like we're hosed. And so that song is a thing that came out of the poorer parts of the United States in a time when they were already feeling what would become called the Great Depression. They were already feeling the economic downturn rather savagely there. The Carter family lived among those people, and they sang songs, that tried to cheer people up. Um, it is, as Maybelle Carter said a few times, a good Christian thing to do.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's great because it's a reminder because everybody was singing. Everybody was singing along. So those great old songs. And it's funny, nobody really writes like that anymore. I mean, that's not what people write, at least that I hear anymore, but it's still very effective. It still works for us.
Well, for another famous person quote, a guy named Chris Isaacs, who's a country singer, songwriter, musician, and he was being interviewed when he did his Tiny Desk thing. He was being interviewed, and at one point, the interviewer said, "Well, what's the problem with music today?" And he stopped for a second and said, "People have become afraid of simplicity."
Mm.
And I think that has a lot to do with people not writing as many songs that are like Carter family songs, although they're not. Of course, Maybelle's work on the bass strings of the guitar was a phenomenon at the time, and still is wonderful stuff. But overall, the songs are relatively simple. They tend to be 1-4-5 kind of things, and
But they do inspire people to sing along and sing harmony too. I mean, that's
exactly
what I
right. Exactly right.
So yeah, it's fun to hear that. Thanks for doing that one.
Yeah.
So you said you're in the middle of you're 2/3 of the way through your trilogy
Yeah. Yeah.
on the beer signs.
Yeah. 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 The first one is about stopping drinking, about walking away from alcoholism, and what needs to happen to do that.
Mm.
Not a particularly autobiographical kind of a thing, but as I say, I did witness it, and
Sure.
I witnessed it in various places through the years, and I'm very
Yeah.
sympathetic to anybody who's hooked on anything.
I feel like the elephant in the room is that we've got the battling quilts going on.
Yes, it's true. I don't know who made yours, but I see that you have a couple of very classic patterns there. You have the square stars pattern, that's an Appalachian pattern, and then you've got the more southern hexagon, the hexagon checkerboard, as they call it down there. Yeah, these were
You are
both
more
made.
knowledgeable about them than I am, but that one there was made by my grandmother, and that one by my great grandfather.
Yeah, those are very appropriate to those times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of these were made by a lady named Anne Pasquale, who very generously hosts a jam session on Saturday afternoons in her backyard in San Jose, and she had these two and a couple of other ones for sale, and so I purchased them.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so very much, Mike, and thank you so much for being the MC today. It was great to hear you sing as well.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And now I'll hand me back to me. All right. Let me get my guide up here. I want to thank all of our performers now, one at a time, starting with our first, Tom Maynard. and then Bill Hernandez, and then Sav, who last name appears to be Partridge. Do you sing with a family? Oh, never mind. Okay, and Chris Steele, Marilyn Walker, and who's this guy here? Oh yeah, Joseph Isaacs. Yeah. Anyway, thank you all very much for doing that. And one thing that you should do is also thank our interviewer. That's Kevin Kelso. And of course, we always like to thank our. In this case, he's standing in the role of engineer tonight. But he's the founder, and he does tireless work behind the scenes to make this all possible. Please remember to check our website, openmicamerica.com, for links to the music of all the OMA performers. And they're also, all of the shows have been archived and are available to replay. If you like this show, for heaven's sake, spread the word. Don't keep it a secret. You can download and print your own posters from our website, openmicamerica.com, and hang them somewhere where folks can see them. You can get a t-shirt through openmicamerica.com, and I believe Capo Dave is going to sit up straight and demonstrate the glory of that t-shirt for us here. Dave?
And thank you, Mike, for hosting, doing such a good job doing double duty tonight. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. And then please get out there and support and check out your virtual and local open mics. Our performers, the things that we've mentioned here, those are listed on the website as well, under the local open mics tab on that website. We're always here the first and third Sundays of every month. So our next show will be Sunday, July 6th, same time, same station. Stay tuned and check the website for the next full lineup of performers. Let's see. I want to thank now the most important people in the virtual room, and that's our audience on YouTube, and I think we should all clap for them for taking the time to listen to live music. There ain't enough of it, and I'm glad to have people do that. All right, so I'm going to go here, and I want to make sure that everyone is muted for our closing actions as we conclude this latest version, July 15th, 2025 version of Open Mic America. And now I'm going to say, for me, for the staff, for the performers, good night, America.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.